As we enter 2020, I wanted to put out a couple thoughts about business and inspiration as being an independent real estate professional full-time for over 10 years, and my wife full-time for about 6. Maybe a little less than 6, not sure. But anyway, there is no other source of income coming into our family. We either live or die based on what comes in every month, which our current division of labor is mostly what I deliver every month. And it's stressful. Honestly, some months are great. Some months are, gee, do we have enough in capital reserve to cover the missing? We haven't quite figured out the peaks and valleys yet, although thankfully there's more peaks than valleys. The weirdest experience of the year was when our accountant told us, as we looked at a very deep valley one month, that we had 2 choices. We could either buy a car for the company, or we could pay the IRS basically that amount of money in taxes. Obviously, we chose to buy the car. For those of you that aren't self-employed yet or aren't full-time self-employed, you may not realize that doing well in business doesn't always mean you have $14,000 to $20,000 sitting in the bank to buy a car with. But thanks to some rather interesting math at the IRS, we can write off half the car while still making payments on it over the next 5 years. So we don't have to actually write the check. And it's things like that that make me very thankful every day to be a realtor, a real estate professional, a real estate investor, but most importantly, to be an entrepreneur in whatever category. For myself, I've never not been independently employed. There have been a few times when I've worked for somebody else, and every single one of those has ended in complete disaster because I'm just not good at being an employee. But it is really wonderful. It's wonderful to know that for as long as I'm self-employed, I will never miss anything at my daughter's school. I guess it's not always a guarantee, but so far in 9 years of her being alive, there's not been an event that I've missed. I could always tell people, nope, I'm not available that day. I have something else going on with my daughter. Last year, when I had a string of deaths and other family drama, and since all of my family lives a number of hours away, those are kind of logistically difficult to accomplish. It was wonderful to know that I didn't have to count, do I have enough sick days? Do I have enough vacation days? Will I not get paid for the days I'm not around? Can I, solve that? As a self-employed person, the answer very much is yes, you can. You can solve that. Because you can build your life around those ups and downs. And very often as an entrepreneur, there is something you can do from a distance to keep your business going. As I spent the week of Christmas and New Year's almost 2 weeks off, and I was working, but I was doing a pretty lame job at being at all efficient about it because I was just so thoroughly burned out. There's a couple other things. One is, there's no other job in which I can just disappear for 2 weeks, accomplish a few things, and actually call it valuable. And as one of my, I'd say mentor, but I know he has a specific mentorship program I'm not a member of, but as one of my inspirations, Damon John, says, you have to learn how to take care of yourself and to focus on that as well. And the most wonderful thing to be able to do when you work for yourself is say, hey, I need this time. Now, as I went through the last quarter, excuse me, some months were awesome, some months were not. The hardest thing to do as an entrepreneur is to level out the peaks and valleys, or to at least make sure the peaks exceed the valleys. But in no other way of making an income, except maybe if you have random hourly wages that you can just take overtime whenever you want it. But most employees, they get paid every week effectively what the boss tells them they're going to get paid every week. In an entrepreneurship situation, you get paid what you deliver. And it's terrifying, but it's liberating. And you have to be grateful every day. The worst thing you can do is not be grateful. 2 reasons. One is, if you're breathing, it's time to be grateful. But 2 is, once you stop being grateful, bad things start happening. The secret law of attraction, whatever you want to call it, is true. You put out good, you get back good. I wish you all a great 2020. I know this was kind of rambling, but I'm going to try to do one of these every other day. Hopefully you like them.